the 5 most missed problems on this SOL practice number 1. So we're given a formula that shows that can be used to find A, the amount of money that Raul has in his savings account. And that equation is A equals P plus P R T. And so Raul wants to find R, the rate of interest that his money earns. Okay? And so what we need to do is we need to solve for the variable R. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move everything else away from R. So I'm going to subtract P from both sides so that I then have A minus P. I have A minus P equals PRT. Now, the P and the T are now multiplying the R, so the opposite operation is divide by. So I'm going to divide by P and I'm going to divide by T. So I'll do that over here. Divide by P and T. So I'm left with my final answer. I just cancel out over here. Is A minus P, all of that divided by P times T is equal to R. Okay. So now let's look at our next example that many people miss. Okay, so we look at the data in this table and says which equation most closely represents the line of best fit for this data. So we can either approximate it visually, or we can figure out the line of best fit by plugging it into, right, plugging our table into Desmos. So I can plot all my points in Desmos using the table tool. Okay, so I put it into a table and plot all my points. And so if I were to hand draw this, it looks like that's a little off, right? So it's a little uncertain how to do it. It doesn't look like it goes through 0. It looks like perhaps it goes through 0.13. Maybe that would be a good selection. Right? So, oops, we could go back to our options. Right? It looks like it definitely crosses, at a positive y value. My y-intercept is positive. And I don't think it passes through 0, 0. But this is just such an uncertain way of doing it. So instead, what I can do is I can have Desmos figure out the line of best fit, where we use the y1 tilde equals mx1 plus b. Well, y1 tilde mx, right, x1 plus b. And so it actually gives the equation for me. So now I see that my slope is 1.77 and my y-intercept is 0.133. Okay? And so let me write that out for you. So my equation then becomes y equals to 1.77x plus 0.13. Okay? So then we can select the correct answer. And we don't have to guess, right? We can be assured of our answer. So let's go on to the next one. Okay, so in this one you guys, when you took this SOL practice, you didn't have the skills, but now you do. So it says identify each expression that is in the simplest radical form. So I look at 64 root x. 64 root x. Okay, so x, we can't do anything with that when it's under the square root. We can't simplify it down. So this one is in fact simplified. Now, if I have x square root of 50y, well, the y is in simplest form. You can't take that outside of the square root. But 50, I know, is the same thing as 25 times 2, the square root of each of those. But then let's take it all down. So it's x times square root of 25 is 5. I'm going to put it on the left of the x. And then I can leave everything else in my square root. So that 2 has to stay inside the square root, as does the y. Okay, so no, that one is not simplified. I look at my 12x cubed y to the 4th power, all of that, take the square root of that. Well, so I look at this y to the 4th power, I can take the square root of that, right? So let's actually work through this one. 12x cubed y to the 4th, all of that square root. So I can actually say 4 times 3 is 12, right? So the biggest perfect square that can be pulled out of 12 4. And then I can also say that my x cubed is the same thing as x squared times x. And the square root of both of those. And actually, when I do the square root of y to the 4th, that's y squared. Pull that one straight out. So this one is definitely not simplified. It's not in its simplest radical form. So we're just figuring out what it is for good practice. So square root of 4 is 2. Okay. Square root of x squared is x. And then I know that I have that y squared. And all of that times 3x. That would be in its simplest form. That one is not simplified either. The last one, though, I look at 2. I can't simplify 2 any further, nor can I simplify x or y and take it outside of my square root sign. So that one is, in fact, simplified. Now, next problem. So it says, which is equivalent to the expression above? Okay. So what I want to do is I want to figure out which one of these is equal to my original expression. Okay. So we know, I'm going to write down the original expression, 3ab squared c cubed, all of that times square root of 5a. Okay, so to move that 3 back into the square root, it becomes 9. Right? So I'm going to rewrite each step so it's very easy to see. But you can do this all in one step if you're comfortable. 5ab squared c cubed. So when I move 9 into the square root, that becomes 45a. Right? So all of them have a 45. All my answers do. So now to move the a into my square root, this would have to become an a squared. Right? Once it's under the square root symbol. So I'm left with a squared c cubed. That 45. And that's a times a squared, which is a cubed. Okay? So I look at that and I see that eliminates 2 of my problems, 2 of my possible answers. So now I need to move the b squared back into the square root. So that has to become a b to the 4th. So I'm left with c cubed, 45, a cubed, b to the 4th. And they both have b to the 4th, so we're waiting on our last term, our c cubed. So to move that inside, it becomes a c to the 6th power. Okay? So that's 45, a cubed, b to the 4th, c to the 6th power. All of that's square root. Okay? So then we're able to select the correct answer then. Okay? So, another problem. So when I substitute 5 in for f of x, so f of 5 is equal to square root of 9 minus 5, all of that over 4. Right? So you're just solving for where x is equal to 5. So that is 9 minus 5 is 4 over square root, right? Over 4. So square root of 4 is 2 over 4, and this reduces to 1/2. Okay. So now let's take Nope. And that's it for the top 5 most missed questions. Please let me know if you would like to see any more, or if you would like to see more of the ones that you missed. I can send those to you. Okay, I hope that helps.